All right, it's Smith & Wesson 32 Rimfire today here. Got a couple of my favorite little pistols here. Let's move in and take a closer look. Let me get the camera set down here. Put this down. What we have here are two Smith & Wesson 32 Rimfire Model 1.5s. They're both Model 1.5s. The first one here is the first variation. Ran from about 1865 until 1871, I believe. They made about 25,000 of these first variations. Then came the second variation, 32 Rimfire. Went from about 1872 to 1886 or somewhere in there. And then they came out with the third variation, which was a 32 Smith & Wesson centerfire. It was top break. It works completely different. They still called it the Model 1.5, but it is nothing like these two here. So let's take a look at this first one here. This first one here is a first variation, 32 Rimfire. I do believe this was one of the first cartridge guns that Smith & Wesson made. I know they made the Model 122 before this, but I think this is the next one. It's just a smaller version of the 32 Model 2 Old Army 32 Rimfire that was used in the Civil War by quite a few troops. In fact, that's where the inspiration for this one came. They wanted a civilian model of it. It's not nearly as big. It's only 5-shot, but it shoots the exact same ammo. Let's take a closer look at this one. The first variations have these regular grips like this, rosewood grips. They have a smooth cylinder and a non-fluted barrel. They do break up, tip up. Cylinder comes out like that. That's how you reload it. Just like the second variation, it has the rod on the end of it to eject out the shells, which I think is a really cool feature. Now, one of the cool things about this particular gun, and I bought it quite a few years ago, is that this is serial number 125. See if we can see that in there. Yeah, see that? Serial number 125. This thing was made during the first week and certainly during the first month of production of these Model 1.5s. It was definitely made in 1865, so I can date this one 1865. It shoots real well. I've shot it quite a few times. I mean, lockup is good. Timing is good on it. Lockup is solid. I mean, it's great. It shoots really well. I've put several hundred rounds through it over the years, both 32 Rimfire, long and shorts. It will shoot both of them. So let's take a look at the other one here. This one is one I just got in from a seller by the name of John B. Henry. I've bought like 6 or 7 different antique guns from this guy. They're always right as described. This one's in good shape. Got a great deal on it. This is a second variation. The second variations had the fluted cylinders and the ribbed barrel. They were a little bit more fancier, had bird's head grip on them, but they still shot the 32 Rimfires. They're still tip-ups, just like the other ones. Let's get some ammo in it. See if I can get this thing loaded up. Show you how it loads. And you would load it as such. And it is ready to fire. I'm not going to pull the hammer back because the last thing I want to do is put a bullet through the wall. Really piss the wife off, and I don't care to do that. So let's go ahead and unload it. Come on, let go. There we go. And you use the rod, like I was saying earlier, to push the shells out. Now, these are going to fall out because they're unfired. After you shoot them, they get a little tighter for sure. You definitely need the rod to push them out. Let's get it back together. And this one works really well. The timing on it is really good. The lockup is solid, just like the first one. One of the other differences is that the cylinder stop is on top, like the Model Army 2, whereas the cylinder stop on this one is the traditional location in the bottom, so that is a difference there. These guns shoot the exact same ammo, which is a 32 Rimfire long. They both will shoot the shorts. You may be wondering, what am I doing for ammo since they haven't made this ammo since the early 1920s? Well, in the 1990s, there was a company that made a couple special runs and they imported them into the United States. You can find these on Gunbreaker for about $150 to $200 per box, which is quite expensive. Fortunately for me, in the 1990s, I bought about 1,500 rounds of this stuff. I've still got another 1,000 rounds of it here somewhere. What I shoot mostly are these reloadable 32 cases. You can buy these from a seller here on Gunbreaker by the name of 10 Mile. He makes them from, he forms them from 32 Smith & Wesson longs, I believe. He also sells the original heeled bullets, the 32 heeled bullets. And what you do is that you take a 22 nail gun load, a number 2 or number 3. This is a number 2. You take it, the charge is contained inside the nail gun load, so you don't have to worry about powder. You put it in there, and with the help of a 32 Rimfire reloading kit, which I'll show you here in a second, you put it together just like that. It's real simple. It works as good as the original bullets. Here's part of the 32 Rimfire kit. I'll put some information in the description where you can get these at. I do not sell these. I'll just put the links for you to be able to get them. So these are the 32 reloadable shells. These shells work. Some of these cases, I've got 15 and 20 reloads on them, so they work really good. Now, if you're wondering how they perform, I put that Top Gun, that first variation on the chronograph. These originals, factory mates, come out the barrel at about 650 feet per second. Which it'll still put the hurt on you. With a number 2 load, this is what you wind up with after you put it together. As you can see, the 22 caliber nail gun load is in there. You turn it so that the hammer strikes the 22 caliber nail gun load. That's with the bullet pressed in. This is ready to fire. Coming out the barrel, these come out at about 700 feet per second on a number 2 load. They're a little bit hotter than the original. And then I have tried a number 3, and it pushes it closer to 850 feet per second with a number 3 nail gun load. And I'm not going to try a number 4 because I don't care to die from shrapnel wounds. All in all, these guns are a whole lot of fun to shoot. Smith & Wesson made a quality product even way back then. You can tell by the way it's made now. It is definitely a quality product. These were not the suicide specials that you may be familiar with. They are spur triggers, but they're definitely a cut above the Hopkins and Allens and the Norwich pistols and all the other Defender 89s and everything else that you've seen and I have. Well, I just want to tell you guys, thank you for this quick overview of this Model 1.5 first variation and Smith & Wesson Model 1.5 second variation. Hey, I really thank you all for watching these videos. I know I'm not as professional as some of the big guys, but I do this to share the knowledge, so please subscribe and like. Thank you for looking.